My name is Rachel, and I've always believed family means loyalty. That belief shattered the moment my brother decided I wasn't family enough for his big day. Growing up, my older brother Jason and I were inseparable. He used to call me Ray, and we'd share secrets no one else knew. We survived our parents' divorce by clinging to each other like shipwreck survivors. That kind of bond doesn't just disappear, or so I thought. When he met Miranda, things shifted. At first, I was thrilled for him. She was polished, graceful, and had a voice like warm honey, if honey were secretly condescending. She'd flash that smile, but there was always something behind it. Something cold. She was nice, in the way people are nice before stabbing you in the back with a salad fork. At every family gathering, she made comments that dripped with passive aggression. "Rachel, you're so independent. I could never live alone at your age." Or my personal favorite, "You work from home? That must be so flexible." I'd go crazy without real structure. Jason never defended me. He just chuckled, then changed the subject. Still, I bit my tongue. I supported their engagement. I went to the bridal shower. I bought gifts off the registry. I smiled for the photos. Then, 6 weeks before the wedding, I noticed something odd. My cousin Leah posted her RSVP photo on Instagram. I hadn't received mine yet, so I messaged Jason. "Hey, just wondering when my invite's coming." He left me on read. 2 days later, I got a text. From Miranda. Not Jason. "Hey Rachel. Hope you're well. We've decided to keep the wedding super intimate. Just immediate family. We're trying to keep things small and drama-free. Thanks for understanding." Drama-free. I stared at those words like they were written in fire. I was immediate family. When I called my mom, her voice dropped. "Oh honey, they said you'd be traveling for work. I thought you were okay with it." Traveling? I wasn't going anywhere. That lie stung more than the exclusion. They didn't just uninvite me. They erased me. I didn't text back. I didn't call. I went silent. But inside, I was boiling. I kept picturing the smug look Miranda probably had on her face when she hit send on that message. I imagined Jason, spineless, nodding along while she decided who was worthy. They wanted a small, drama-free wedding? Fine. But I was going to be the quiet storm they never saw coming. I didn't plot revenge immediately. I'm not that cliché. But a few days later, a friend from college, one of those people who seems to know everything before it hits social media, sent me a link. "Isn't this where your brother's wedding is happening?" I clicked. It was a luxury estate resort just outside the city. Very high-end. Mountain views. Personal chefs. A 5-star honeymoon suite that came with a private rooftop jacuzzi and 24-hour concierge. And guess what? It was still available. Apparently, they hadn't booked it yet. My heart started to pound. I called the resort. "Hi, I'm looking to reserve your honeymoon suite on June 18th. I said as casually as ordering pizza. The woman paused. "Just to let you know, we do have a large wedding event that day. It's typically reserved for the couple." I smiled into the phone. "I understand. But I'll pay full price. In fact, I'll pay double if necessary." Money wasn't an issue. Years of hard work running my online business gave me options. And nothing said poetic justice like sleeping above the bride and groom on their wedding night. The receptionist put me on hold. 2 minutes later, the suite was mine. I didn't post about it. I didn't tell a soul. I wanted it to be a surprise. The kind of surprise that hits like a freight train. The following days were filled with quiet anticipation. Jason never followed up. Miranda stayed blissfully unaware. The rest of the family played along like I didn't exist. I let them. Because when you're staging the perfect revenge, silence is the sharpest weapon. And I was just getting started. The day of the wedding arrived with a quiet kind of chaos. I had checked into the resort the night before, just to get settled, and honestly to enjoy the calm before the beautiful storm I had planned. The suite was even better than I expected. Floor-to-ceiling windows. A rooftop jacuzzi overlooking the valley. Champagne chilling in a silver bucket. And the bed. Let's just say it looked like it was made for fairy tale endings. I didn't bring anyone with me. I didn't need to. This wasn't about flaunting a date or pretending I was living some extravagant fantasy. This was about presence. about being seen. And I knew exactly how to make that happen. I woke up early, slipped into a silk robe, ordered a decadent breakfast from room service, and had it served on the rooftop terrace. I made sure the staff carried the trays right through the main hallway where the bridal suite and guest rooms were located. Let them wonder. Let them notice. I sipped my mimosa with the sun on my face while below me, the wedding chaos began. From my rooftop perch, I could hear distant snippets, laughter, vendors giving instructions, someone shouting about flowers. I even heard Jason's voice once, barking at someone to get the programs in order. It was perfect. Around noon, I wandered down to the spa for a massage I had booked in my suite. The concierge was visibly flustered when he realized which room I was staying in. "Oh, you're in the honeymoon suite?" he asked, blinking. I smiled sweetly. "Yes. Is that a problem?" "No, not at all. It's just, well, we thought it was reserved for the couple getting married today." I widened my eyes. "Oh no. I didn't know there was a wedding here. But I'm sure they'll understand. I mean, it's just a room." He nodded, confused but polite, and left me in peace. By late afternoon, the energy outside had shifted. Guests were arriving. The ceremony would begin soon. I peeked from the window and saw a white arch being decorated with soft blush roses and hanging crystals. Very on brand for Miranda. I waited. And then, right around 5 p.m., it happened. A knock at the door. I opened it to find the wedding coordinator standing there, visibly sweating. "Hi, sorry to bother you, but are you the guest in this suite?" I nodded. "That's me." "Right. So there's been a misunderstanding. This suite was supposed to be held for the bride and groom tonight. Is there any way, any chance at all, you might consider relocating to another room? Just for the evening? We'd be happy to upgrade you and refund the cost." Her voice was trembling slightly. Poor thing had clearly been sent into the fire. I tilted my head. That's unfortunate. But I booked this suite weeks ago. Paid in full. No one mentioned any conflict." She blinked. We assumed the couple would reserve it, but I guess they never did. The groom's sister usually handled details like that." I almost laughed. "The groom's sister?" I repeated, feigning innocence. "Funny. I'm his sister. Guess he forgot to mention me." Her jaw didn't drop, but it wanted to. She stammered, "Oh, I didn't realize." "I know," I said, still smiling. "No one does." There was silence. Beautiful, awkward silence. Eventually, she murmured something about checking with management and scurried away. I closed the door behind her and exhaled slowly. That moment tasted better than any dessert. An hour later, I slipped into a cocktail dress. Not white, of course, I'm not that cruel, and strolled through the resort garden as guests trickled toward the ceremony. Heads turned. I nodded politely. Aunt Diane stopped mid-sentence when she saw me. "Rachel? I thought you." "I decided to come after all," I said, before she could finish. I wasn't on the guest list, obviously. But I didn't need to be. I had the most important room in the building. When I reached the back of the ceremony crowd, I stayed just out of view. But I made sure Jason saw me. His eyes met mine as he stood at the altar. And for a split second, I saw panic flicker across his face. Miranda didn't notice. Yet. I didn't attend the reception. I didn't need to cause a scene. My revenge wasn't about explosions. It was about presence. Subtle. Strategic. Elegant. I went back to the suite, ordered dinner, filled the rooftop tub, and toasted to being forgotten. Let them enjoy their cake. I had the crown jewel of their wedding night. And I wasn't done yet. The next morning, I woke up to the sound of birds chirping and the faint clinking of dishes being cleared away downstairs. It was early. Too early for newlyweds to be up and mingling with guests at breakfast, assuming they'd even had a decent night's sleep. After all, they didn't sleep in the honeymoon suite. I did. And it was glorious. The sheets were the softest I'd ever felt. The pillows practically hugged my head. And the room still smelled like lavender and subtle revenge. I stretched, then wandered to the balcony in my robe, coffee in hand. From my spot overlooking the property, I could see the last of the wedding decor being taken down. A few straggling guests were walking the gardens. Everyone looked tired, emotionally hungover from a picture-perfect day that had one major flaw. Me. I didn't expect what came next. At exactly 8:32 a.m., someone knocked at my door. This time it wasn't the wedding planner. It was Jason. I opened the door slowly, letting the moment stretch. His tie was undone. His eyes had bags. His hair looked like he hadn't touched a comb in hours. This was not the groom glow people post on Instagram. "Rachel," he said, barely above a whisper. I leaned against the doorframe, unbothered. "Jason, what brings the groom to my suite?" He exhaled, rubbing his face. "Look, I don't know what the hell you were trying to prove." "Oh, I wasn't trying to prove anything," I interrupted. "I succeeded." His jaw tightened. "You ruined Miranda's night." I raised an eyebrow. "I ruined it?" "I booked a room. A room she forgot to reserve." "That's not sabotage. That's strategy." "She cried," he snapped. "Good. Maybe she'll cry out all that toxicity she's been pouring into our family for the past 3 years. He flinched at that. I stepped aside and motioned to the room. "Take a look, Jason. This was supposed to be your wedding night. But instead of being with your new wife in this suite, you two got shuffled into a double queen room with a view of the parking lot. Romantic." He didn't move. He just stared at the carpet. I softened my tone barely. "You know what hurt the most? Not being uninvited. Not even the fake excuse about me being too busy with work. It was that you didn't say a single word to me. You let her speak for you. You let her erase me." Jason finally looked up. "I didn't think you'd care. You always act like you're better than all of us now." I laughed, dry and sharp. "No. I just stopped shrinking myself to fit in. There's a difference." There was a long pause. Then he said, "You didn't have to go this far." I tilted my head. "Didn't I?" He opened his mouth, then closed it again. There was nothing else to say. Eventually, he walked away without another word. I shut the door, locked it, and let out a breath I'd been holding since the moment that ridiculous text from Miranda landed in my inbox. I had made my point. But I wasn't done. Before I checked out, I went to the concierge desk. "Hi," I said cheerfully. "I'd like to leave a little gift for the couple." The receptionist blinked. "Certainly. What would you like to leave?" I handed her a wrapped box. Inside was a bottle of cheap champagne and a card. It read, "Next time don't forget your family. Love. Your sister, the one with better taste in hotel rooms." Then I walked out of the resort with my head high and a smile that could cut glass. Later that afternoon, my cousin Leah texted me. "Girl, word's getting around. Everyone at brunch is talking about how you had the honeymoon suite. Miranda looks like she's about to file for annulment." I didn't reply. I just posted a picture on my story, the view from the rooftop, my breakfast, and the caption. "Some people get married. Others get even." Because sometimes revenge isn't loud. Sometimes it's just checking into the room they forgot to claim. And sleeping better than they ever will.